And how's it going, guys and girls? Me, Uncle, welcome to my channel, and yet again, yeah, here to play DDLC Blue Skies. And yeah, I know I haven't recorded since this week. I haven't recorded this week at all. I guess only Monday I did record, but putting that aside, here we are again with Yuri's Road. So let's start from where we stopped. I'll only do 1 or 2 days because I'm too tired. Really, I'm really tired. So, oh man, I'm the last one here. Oh, don't worry about it. Everyone's late from time to time. We've been working hard, so I think you deserve some slack. I guess so. I'm usually pretty punctual, but I just lost track of time today. What made you forget the time? Yeah, it's a funny story actually. I recently decided to learn how to play piano, so I was practicing just now. That's probably why I didn't notice the school bell going off. You can play piano? That's quite impressive. I've always wanted to play an instrument myself. It's not as cool as you make it out to be. I've only been playing for a little while, so I've still got ways to go before I'm any good. You should pick up an instrument too, Yuri. I could definitely see you playing the violin. Yeah, that pretty much suits you perfectly. Ah, the violin is a beautiful instrument. I'm partial to the sound of the flute as well. Flutes can be calm and elegant, just like you. Thank you. How is it like to play piano? It's a really enjoyable instrument to play. Not to mention I really love how it sounds. One moment it can sound gentle and shooting, the next powerful and full of force. The piano is an instrument that I'm familiar with too. Well, at least somewhat. My father had set me up for piano lessons when I was younger. He would been playing since high school and wanted to pass his passion down to me, but I never really got into it. Considering that, you would think I would hate the piano, but for some reason I find myself internally cheering on Monica. Maybe because it reminds me of my father in a way. Monica, you certainly are a talented individual. First starting your own club from the ground up, and now picking up piano on a whim. I doubt I would be able to do that. Oh, don't say that. Anyone can do amazing things as long as they have passion for it. Which is why I think we're all gonna do amazing at the festival. I can't wait for the festival. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. Nasky, weren't you just protesting the festival yesterday? Well, obviously I meant anything besides our part of the festival. I still don't like the idea of performing. Monica rolls her eyes. I don't want to start this whole debate over again either. But I'm looking forward to everything else. It's a whole day off school where you can just run around and eat till you bust. That's a good way to put it. I can see the eagerness in Natsuki's eyes. She must really like food. Yeah, you don't know even half of it, pal. Unfortunately, we all know half of it. Or even the full story sometimes. It kinda reminds me of a certain someone. Speaking of which, where is Sayuri? Oh, there you are. Sayuri is sitting at the desk in the back of the room, staring out the window. I walk over to her. As I do, I hear the girls continue to converse behind me. Something's about squid. Yeah, that's fun. Monica. Hey, Sayuri. I wave my hand in front of her face. Eh? You're spacing out again. Ah. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Oh, please, let's not start all this over again, Sayuri. Come on. We know something's wrong. Are you okay? She forces a smile. It's not very convincing. Of course I am, silly. Why wouldn't I be? I don't know, you're fucking depressed, maybe? But hey, who am I to talk about it? Yeah. I don't know, you just seem a bit off today. Maybe I am wrong, but my mind wanders back to what she asked me as we were walking home together. You work too much. I'm fine, seriously. She shows me another smile, much bigger and more genuine. While it seems much more Sayuri-like, there's still something inside of me that feels like something's up. Sayuri must have noticed as she hastened to explain. To tell you the truth, I just didn't get much sleep last night. I'm really tired, so sorry if I'm a little cranky. Seriously though, I'm probably not much fun to hang around with right now. Why don't you spend some time with the others? I might try and have a little nap. Sure, okay. Just know that if anything's bothering you, you can talk to me, okay? I would hate to see you suffering in silence. She nods. Suffering might be a little strong of a word. Oh well, you know what I mean. Sayori nods again and shoos me away. As I wander off to talk to Monica, that feeling of uneasiness isn't going away. Maybe that's just how Sayori is these days. I mean, it's been a good few years since we've properly hung out together. Maybe she's changed. Deep down, I know that isn't the reason. Still, maybe Monica knows more than I do. After all, she is the president, right? I timidly approach her. She is shuffling through some papers at the desk. Hey, what's up? I decide to just jump right in it. There's no point in beating around the bush. Hey, so have you noticed anything wrong with Sayori recently? Wrong? What do you mean? I don't know. It's just that she seems a little downcast today. So, do you have any idea why she might be feeling off? Like, have you seen her act this way before? No, I can't say I've ever seen her like this before. Yeah, she said she is just feeling tired because she didn't get much sleep. But to be honest, I'm not buying it. She's normally upbeat and cheerful. Her behavior has been so uncharacteristic. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Wait, didn't she say she was going to try a nap? Maybe there is something in her mind. My question though is, why are you asking me? You've certainly known her longer than I have. Yeah, well, you've spent more time around her recently than I have, with the club and all. I guess so. But I've never seen her dismiss me. Maybe she didn't exactly dismiss me, but it felt like she just wanted me gone. Sorry, I'm just concerned for her, you know. Just wanted to ask if you knew anything, that's all. No, I appreciate you coming to me, it's really sweet, and how concerned you are for her. After all, it's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know. Maybe I'll try to talk her myself. Yeah, are you sure that's a good idea? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? I know you've known Sayuri for longer than I have, so perhaps you're right. Still, it's worth a try. I also have to talk to her about what she wants to do for the festival anyway. Oh, right. Fair enough then. I just hope she's more receptive to you than she was to me. Monica pauses, studying my worried facial expression. The warmth of her smile reflects in her eyes. You really care about her, don't you? From what I can gather, you've been friends for a while. Yeah, we've been childhood friends for as long as I can remember. Although, before I joined the club, we had been drifting a lot. I hate thinking that she's been like this before without me around to help her. Hey, I know it's hard. It's never easy to see a friend suffer, but for what it's worth, she's lucky to have someone so thoughtful looking out for her. Don't blame yourself for it. You can't always be there for everyone. That's the harsh reality. I know she's right, but the feeling of guilt still resides. Yeah, I guess. Hey, she's been a lot happier since she joined the club, you know. Huh? Really? Yep, she told me she was kind of surprised at first, as she didn't expect you to want to join, but once she got over that, she enjoyed having you around. Anyway, you know it's hard seeing her like this. I'll talk to her and see what I can do, okay? She'll be fine, don't you worry. I sure hope so. Let's just hope you're right, Monica. Thank you for everything, by the way. You've been a big help. You're too kind. Nothing to thank me for. She stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet, I sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica to talk to her. For some reason I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. I glance around the room. Suddenly I notice Yuri is peering over her book at me. Realizing that she is staring, she timidly hides behind her book. Did she overhear the stuff about Sayori? Perhaps she can help. Walk over to Yuri sitting and slide into the desk next to her. I'm sorry if I was distracting you. I didn't mean to stare at you like that. Yuri, it's okay. You're not bothering me at all. She sighs, appearing somewhat relieved. I see. Well, I couldn't help but notice that you were deep in thought. Is that something on your mind? Well, yes, actually, but how could you tell? She gently flicks a page of her book and back and forth, rubbing her thumb gingerly against the corners. I'm usually alone with my thoughts, so I know what to look for. Not that I was especially watching you or anything. Oh dear, I hope you don't think that's weird of me. Don't worry about it. I think being so perceptive, it's kinda cool. Perhaps you could help me with something, Yuri. A curiosity piqued, she folds the pages she was reading slightly to mark it for later and shuts the book and turns to me. Are you sure I'm the right person for that? I do. You seem to have your head on right. You would? So you'll probably give me great advice. I see. Well, I'll do my best, I suppose. Okay, so I guess the main issue is actually, have you noticed anything up, Sayuri? Sayuri? She glances over to Sayuri, who's totally oblivious to what's happening around her. Yeah, things just seem really different, you know. Like she's not herself. I tried to ask her about it and she just told me she was tired, but I'm not sure. Yuri idly taps at her book with her fingers, apparently thinking things over. That must be quite worrying for you. I'm sorry to hear she's not feeling well. Forgive me if this isn't an appropriate question, but do you mind me asking how long you've known each other? Gosh, as long as I can remember, really. We hung out a lot as kids, but as we got older, we kind of drift apart. Since I've been coming to the club, though, I've had the opportunity to spend a bit more time around her. Yuri nods contemplatively. Okay, well, perhaps she doesn't feel comfortable sharing what's ailing her. That's not to say she doesn't think of you as a good friend. You just haven't really seen much of each other recently, have you? Forgive me if that sounds too harsh. I place my hand on Yuri's shoulder. She tenses up for a split second, but quickly eases down again. Yuri, trust me, if you were bothering me, I would tell you. You need to stop apologizing so much. It's really okay. Sorry, I mean. Let out a soft laugh. She's very sincere. It's quite endearing. I understand where you're coming from, though. Perhaps I'll need to work my way up to that level of connection with her again. Yuri folds her arms and tilts her head to the side, allowing her violet hair to drop down over the desk. Hey, have you heard of the proverb about our three masks? Huh? I don't think I have. Well, to put it simply, every person has three different masks. The first is how we present ourselves to people in public. Strangers, passerby. That's how the things. The next one I probably is the one you use to your friends, and the other one is the one you use to yourself. Isn't that right? The second one is how we present ourselves to close friends and family, the ones we hold dear to our heart. And the last is reserved only to oneself. I know it. It's our truest representation of being that... Oh, is a true representation of our being that no one else can possibly interpret. That's actually pretty amazing. Yuri truly seems to know what she's talking about. Notice that I said how we present ourselves, not how we feel. I think perhaps the way Sayuri acts and the way she feels aren't necessarily the same. Oh, you wouldn't know how right you are about that. I think I understand, but what makes you bring that up? You thought something wasn't right from the beginning, correct? Maybe your intuition is trying to guide you towards the conclusion on its own. Of course, that's just my perspective. It's entirely possible that I'm looking too much into it, although I must admit I'm curious about her seemingly sudden attitude shift. I wonder what could have caused that. Same. I assume you don't know of any potential events that could have an impact on her life, do you? Nothing comes to mind, although as you said earlier, I'm not sure if she would tell me anyway. She turns to face me, wearing a plaintive smile. I understand this must be quite frustrating to you. You want to help her, but she won't let you. But sometimes there's only so much you can do. For now, your best bet would be simply to let her know you're here for her without prying. I'm sure she would open up to you when she feels comfortable doing so. She's lucky to have such a thoughtful person looking out for her. That's not the first time someone tells me that, but still. Friends like that are quite hard to come by these days. Monica said something similar to me just now. I rubbed the back of my neck in embarrassment. You guys give me too much credit. I'm just doing what any friend would do, right? There's nothing extraordinary about what I'm doing for Sayuri. Haha, so humble. Anyway, do you mind if we do some reading? I can't do anything else for Sayuri, so I might as well take my mind of it. Of course, I thought we could carry on the portrait of Markov. If that's okay with you, that is. Yeah, sure, that'll do fine. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say thanks for listening to me, I mean. You've been super supportive even though this stuff doesn't really have anything to do with you. So, I really appreciate it. You're a genuine person, Yuri. Not to mention, you've got a cool taste in literature. I don't know what to say. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, sorry. Just that you're really mature and insightful. And for someone like me who isn't very good with emotions, you really hit the nail on the head. Sorry, I'm just not used to people being so nice. I frowned. That's kind of surprising. Sure, she's a little quiet, but she's really got her heart in the right place. And it's okay. I should have been a bit more mindful. Shall we start reading? If you will not mind. Thank you, though. I'm glad you joined the club, by the way. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Yeah, we all know what this means. Why don't we share poems now? Before I know it, everything's back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica and she just smiles reassuringly at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Yuri. Well, Yuri, let's get it. Hey, it's amazed me every time you show me a new composition. Your poetry is phenomenal and I can't fathom how you were able to write this so naturally. The words flow through the page with vigor. It even makes me feel somewhat jealous. It seems so easy for you, whereas I find stressing about each piece. Yuri, I don't think that's entirely accurate. I don't have an innate talent for writing, but I do know an incredibly skilled writer whose work motivates me to do my best. And that's you, Yuri. My goodness. Yuri gently smiles to herself, closing her eyes. This feeling, I had no idea that sharing my poetry would feel like this. It's so freeing. Yeah, it is. I still can't believe you've never shared your writing before now. I think so many people would love to see your work. You say that, but I'm not sure if it's that simple. Eh? How so? Well, Yuri looks out the window wistfully. Hey, do you know what I do in the afternoons? I like to find a quiet spot to eat lunch by myself. It's a wonderful time to reflect about things without distraction. In fact, I'm also able to catch up on my reading. Do you know why I enjoy reading so much? There are so many amazing types of people within the pages. People who might infatuate you, or perhaps someone who could make you smile in your darkest moments. It might sound pathetic, but it makes me feel better about my solitude. It's almost as if you have your own group of friends. Is that weird? I don't have to worry about disappointing them. They don't find joy in daring me. And they don't hate me for acting so insufferably pretentious. Yuri, do people really say those things about you? People might think I'll say naughty because that's meh, or that I'm a know-it-all. But in actuality, I know nothing useful about the world. I might be able to tell you what defines the Shakespearean sonnet, but I'm totally lost when it comes to socializing. Don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that it became apparent that something was missing. You. Me? Are you sure? Yeah. The fact that you are willing to be patient with me, it really means a lot to me. I know there's so many things wrong with me. My addiction is irritatingly slow. I'm never able to find confidence in my own opinions, and I look for hidden depths where they don't exist. But despite all that, you didn't leave me. Hey, I can count on one hand the number of people I feel comfortable talking to. You're one of those people, and I'm so grateful for that. I see. Well, in my eyes, you're an incredible person. It would be weird if I didn't treat you nicely, you know? I joined this club hoping to meet some new people, and I'm glad I got to meet you. Yeah. I'm glad that I got to meet you too. Yuri hides her face in her hands. However, I notice she is smiling this time. Do you want to show me your poem? Yes I do. Let me get it for you. Heartbeat. Pounding eyes, exasperation. Flowing liquid conflagration. Okay, rhythmic pulse of candid blush. Delicate notes thought that rush. A considerate quail quietly quelled. Sleepy ribbons of a bliss excelled. Okay, careful hearts are willed on flimsy. Patched on broken and ultimate whimsy. Nebulous trails. A dirty tracks. Final thoughts, no turning back. Irrepressible fervent drive to breathe. kindness count that will never leave. Exalted glow of flourishing moss, graceful steps of love or loss, happy thoughts and hidden grief, a cautiously cut crimson leaf, thrashing thread of an untamed gaze, cacophonious chaos of heart ablaze, sparkling sound of a silent desire from strawberry rhythms that never tire. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri, but instead of taking it from me, she looks away. I didn't do anything wrong, did I? Ah, no, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. Maybe it's hypocritical of me, but I'm not sure if I can explain this one. Don't worry, the meaning is pretty clear to me. Yuri's having an even harder time to speak than usual. You must have put a lot of thought into this one, huh? Yuri nods. Well, I'm really happy that you showed me this poem, so thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. A small smile plays across Yuri's lips. Once again I try to hand the poem back, but instead Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back towards me. I hesitate and in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is, once again Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I would love to. Yuri smiles again. There's something so pure about it. You always know what to say. Perhaps someday I can make you feel good too. Yeah, I would like that. Yuri finally turns back towards me. We should probably think about sharing with the others. But I'll see you later, won't I? Yeah, I promise, Yuri. With that, Yuri pivots around on her wheel, making her way back to her desk. Whom should I show my poem next? Say, Yuri, little girl, let's see how you're doing. It's good to see you taking poetry seriously. Yeah, truthfully, I wasn't really sure how much I would like writing poems, but coming here made me realize how enjoyable it can be. It looks like you've really been influenced by Yuri too. Eh? I have? Did you write it specifically for her? What? No, I didn't. What gave you that impression? Never mind. It's a nice poem, by the way. Ah, thank you. An awkward silence descends upon us. It's good to see you making friends, though. Seeing you get closer to them, seeing you happy, it makes me happy too. I tend to look at her, but she is deliberately avoiding eye contact as she aimlessly fiddles with a pen in her hand. Her words really don't match her demeanor. No sense in questioning it though, as I already know what the response would be. How was your nap, by the way? Oh yeah, it was great, really helped. I'm fully aware that she didn't nap at all, and the fact she went along with the lie further confirms my suspicions. Yeah, but my mouth would color out on it. But then I stop remembering Yuri's words. Perhaps now just isn't the best time to ask about whatever's on her mind. It's not like we're best friends nowadays. There's clearly some distance between us, as much as I don't want to admit it. I've asked her what's wrong, but she didn't really confide me. It's frustrating, but as Yuri said, all I can do now is let her know I'm here for her. And respect her boundaries. Sometimes you have to just work with the hand you've been dealt, I guess. Hey, Yuri, look, this might sound a little bit weird, but I just want you to know that I'm here for you, no matter what's going on. I shouldn't have pried earlier. I should have respected your privacy. It's just hard for me to sit back and do. Well, it feels like nothing. It's okay, I appreciate the concern. Thank you. Anyway, Monica told me she wanted to discuss our festival preparations after everyone was done sharing poems. So I should probably show you my poem now. Anyways, here it is. Yeah, we already know this. So, what do you think? Wow, Sayuri, I had no idea you could write like this. Here's something else. Have the others seen it? No, not yet. You're the first one I've shown it to. What an honor, huh? So, what's this one about? From what I can gather, it's about someone who tries to keep everyone happy, right? Oh yeah. She nods, and people like that, but eventually they kinda got used to it. But that's okay, because at least they were still happy. And this person the kingdom wish, even she gets a little tired from time to time. But as long as everyone's happy, that's her job. She's happy when the others are happy. That's the most important thing. I look back at the poem, trying to pick up on the more subtle meanings. It doesn't take a genius to know what that means. Doesn't take a genius. But surely the angel doesn't have to be alone. People don't have to depend on just her to be happy. Surely the angel could share the responsibility, right? Maybe? I don't know, maybe I'm just looking into this a bit too much. I just feel kinda sorry for her. Evelyn, am I seriously empathizing with a fictional angel? Maybe I'm really getting into poetry thing. Who knows, pal? Who knows what you are into? There we go. Okay. I'm glad my poems can get such a reaction out of you. I really put a lot of thought into this one last night, and you seem to pick up on it. With an uncomfortable dawn of realization, it's become quite clear how this poem relates to Sayuri. Yeah, that poem is actually Sayuri. I'm not going to have much luck questioning that though. Well, I hope the angel finds happiness soon. Maybe she should share her burdens with other people. She just might be surprised how receptive the people of the kingdom are. But then they'll be sad. That would be selfish. Or maybe they'll be happy to give something back to their angel. After all, she was keeping them happy. It's only fair they get to give something back, right? A shake of the head and a sad smile is my only response. Yeah, it's no use to go to Naski, she'll just throw me away. Yeah, no thanks. Wait, what? You didn't even... Next. Yeah, as I thought. Monica, let's get it. Hey, I approached Monica, wanted to talk about Sayori with her some more, but she takes control of the conversation before I can say anything and immediately jumps into the club business. This might come as a surprise, but we have a festival coming up soon. Oh wow, never would have guessed. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Despite any praise of the girls might have given me, I really doubt that my poetry is up to snuff. I'm sure that there is not just a little buzz during the poetry discussions. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. You wouldn't want to let down the club, right? She says that with a teasing tone, but a chill runs down my spine when I think about the implications of disappointing everyone. Well, yeah, you gotta live with that. Who knows what Monica would do to me if I betrayed her as her loyal literature club subject. Not to mention I'm also looking forward to seeing your performance. Right, that's definitely not something that I can relate to. Don't worry so much, you'll do fine. After all, we've been doing fine in this poetry discussion so far. So you say. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Here it is. Let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. The Box Part 2. On my nightstand sits an ornate box, painstakingly crafted, the corner decorated with the most delicate filigree. Beautiful, beautiful, the most beautiful box you would ever see. In that box stands a slender porcelain ballerina. No, not stands, twirls. Oh yeah, I know this. You know, I feel like looking for answers and contemplating your reality are the sorts of things that give life a meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see, never really put much thought into it. In a way it's almost paradoxical, because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose the meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad and happy. Well, yeah, if everything was okay, then why would everyone write? How fitting, somber subjects for a somber day. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't have anything to write about, would we? Exactly. Humans aren't one-dimensional creatures. That's what makes people so interesting. You might think that it would be way better if everyone was happy and uncomplicated all the time. But how would we know that happiness, what happiness was, if it weren't for the sadness to compare it to? Hmm, guess that's true. Even so, I would rather not see my friends so troubled. Anyway, here's my rating tip of the day. Do you ever feel discouraged or when something you've put a lot of effort and time into doesn't get as much attention as you thought it would? For instance, you could have spent hours and hours on a poem, only to have your friends barely glance at it when you show it to them. It might make you feel like doing anymore is useless. And the sad truth is, the world is so saturated with creative works already that most of people don't receive any attention. So at least relative to the most popular artists and authors. There's actually not much that you can do in that situation besides try your best. However, you also shouldn't think of things in terms of popularity and numbers of views. The most important thing should be your own personal self-satisfaction. If you're proud of yourself and your work, then I say that that's enough success. That was the most depressing writing tip of the day ever. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Somehow I did not like that writing tip. Okay everyone, we're all done sharing poems, right? In which case let's start figuring out what we're all going to do for the festival. You still remembered. I'll pretend that I didn't hear that. Anyway, as I was saying, I already know what I'm doing. Well, yeah. Yeah, we already know what we'll be doing too. We'll be skipping. So yeah, skip just a bit. So until we get to Mrs. Yuri. Well, it's kind of obvious who is the one I'll go to. Yuri, let's get it. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you? Natsuki, I can already tell that you're about to say something mean. No, I was just saying, this. So you'll be helping Yuri then? Yeah, if that's okay with you, Yuri. Of course, sorry, I have a bad habit of overthinking these sort of things. Your assistance will be much appreciated. Okay, well that's sorted then. Natsuki will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah, I'll write a say that I would be fine. Okay, how about you, Yuri? We can work together if you want. I think I'll be okay, thanks. What an independent bunch you all are. So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. She glances shyly in my direction. Do you feel the same way? Yeah, I haven't really made any bandits before, and I don't know much about aromatherapy or whatever it is. So it will be a new experience for me. I'm sorry in advance if I'm not very useful, Yuri. No, there's nothing to worry about. I appreciate you offering to help me in the first place. Good to know. It'll be fun. Yeah, that's the spirit, guys. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? I'm just looking forward to making all those cupcakes. Those new students better appreciate them. I'm sure they will, don't you worry. After all, they look just as nice as they taste. There's a general murmur of agreement. Yeah. I have a little surprise in mind with the cupcakes that I think everyone will like. Oh, what would that be? Natsuki rolls her eyes. It's called surprise for a reason, dummy. You'll find out on Monday. Of course, how silly of me to forget. Anyways, there's nothing more to discuss today. Everyone knows what they'll be doing, so I'll see you all on Monday with your festival stuff. Oh, sorry, before I go, Sayori, anything you want to add? Sayori has been awfully quiet, so if I wasn't so worried about her, I might have forgot she was in the room. No, I'm okay, thanks. I'm looking forward to what your little misery is, Natsuki. As Natsuki and Monica leave, Sayori turns to Yuri and I. Oh, and look, Yuri. Hope you two have fun. She giggles as she walks out of the door. Hang on, we are meant to walk home together. As I move forward to intercept her, I feel a light tap on my shoulder. It's Yuri looking incredibly sheepish. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you or anything, it's just I realized we have no way to contacting each other this weekend. Oh, I forgot myself actually. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Do you want my mobile number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Okay, here you go. We exchanged numbers. As I had her name to my list of contacts, I realized how small my contact list actually is. Apart from Sayuri and my parents, it's basically empty. A reminder of how life was before joining this club. Hey, sorry, I must have spaced out a little. It's okay. I was just saying I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. Eh? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. Ah, I suppose that makes sense, but if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Oh, yeah, I guess that's fine. I decided not to press you for a reason. Guess it's not really that important and important anyway. I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I can actually contribute to whatever you have in mind, Yuri. Not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself. I think that we'll make a very productive team, even if you only choose me because you felt better or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's simply what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Besides, you helped me a lot with Sayuri earlier. I have to return the favor somehow. Oh really, you don't have to worry about that. Eh, I'm only teasing. I would love to help you out. I always enjoy your company. Her face flushes a bright crimson. There's no way you sincerely mean that. Of course I do. You're a delight to be around, Yuri. I see, forgive me. It's just, I rarely hear such kind things spoken so genuinely. Really can't understand why anyone would say mean things about Wilder. Just because she keeps to herself, or because her interests deviate a little from the norm. Regardless, I really do want to spend my Sunday with you, Yuri. Can you believe me? She looks me straight in the eyes, deep in thought. It's almost like if I can see the gears turning in her head. After a brief moment, she sighs and nods. Yes, I believe you. I hope that we have an exceptional time together. I didn't mean for that to sound so serious. I'm doing it again. Yuri clears the throat. What I wanted to say was, I'm looking forward to Sunday. A gentle smile plays across her face. Me too, Yuri. I leave the clubroom, Yuri following behind me. It looks like Yuri didn't wait for me. She's probably at home by now. Can't help but feel guilt about not walking home with her, but maybe she really does want to be left alone. It would certainly explain why she seemed to shrug off my attempts to help her, right? But I feel like something's off. I wish I could just focus on what's going on in front of me. Let's go. Let's just do Sunday? Yeah, why not? Okay, let's do Sunday and then I'll be off to sleep because I'm tired as hell. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. I peek outside my window and notice, Yuri, she's not supposed to be here for a little while. I go downstairs and open the front door. I was worried this was the wrong house. I probably should have asked about it earlier. No, it's okay. You're a bit early though. But that's alright. I'm glad I took the time to tidy things up before she arrived. If she would arrived early and I hadn't done anything, I would have been really embarrassed. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. I suppose I was just a bit anxious that I would follow your directions wrong. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find anything I asked you to buy as well? Well, I actually had a bit of trouble. Is that so? Yuri had texted me a list of art supplies yesterday and I was supposed to pick them up for today. It probably works out better this way since she'll be able to get exactly what she's looking for. Well, we should be able to take some things from the art room at school. As long as I could leave my things at your house first. I would rather not carry them with me. Sure, no problem. Quickly open the front door to my house and Yuri places her things just past it. That way we'll see them as soon as we get back. Right then, shall we? Let's go. The two of us briskly start walking to school. The weather is beautiful and a light breeze blows throughout the streets. Yu is rather quiet, but she doesn't seem to be annoyed. I've come to learn that she tends to appreciate things from afar, so her silence isn't too worrying. It's odd being at school on the weekend. The mood of the place feels totally different without the crowds of students around. Yuri leads me down a long corridor until we reach a large imposing door. This should be it. With a slight creak, she opens the door and heads inside. Oh wow, nice. The smell of dried paint lingers in the air. While not terribly large, this place should have what we're looking for. Okay, so we'll need a large cloth banner and some paint. Do you have brushes already? I think so. It couldn't hurt to get some more though. Yui strides through the classroom, determined to look on her face. It's a quite stunning contrast to how she usually appears. I kinda like it. She bends down and pulls a long thick sheet of fabric from a shelf down below. With surprising haste, she folds it up into a neat bundle and tucks it under her arm. You know? Yeah. Well, she closes her eyes, taking a deep breath. I know we haven't even started yet, but this is nice. We're doing something so simple together, yet it feels so enrapturing. Heh, that's a bit forward, isn't it? Yuri seems to think so too, as her face flushed. I didn't mean that to sound so serious. We're not even decorating yet, and I'm ruining things. She retreats into the deep purple shroud of her hair, fidgeting with a loose strand. Now this is a Yuri I'm more accustomed to. Yuri, I thought we went over this. You don't have to worry about that. I know that's just your way of expressing how excited you are to start working on our part for the festival. And I'm excited too. Okay, if that's how you really feel. She nervously scans the shelves, picking out various different paints we'll need. In the end, we spent a bit more time than I was expecting here. It seems Yuri really pays attention on the quality of what she wants. But if it will make things go well with Yuri today, I don't mind. Right, shall we head back to my place and get started on this? Yes, we should have everything we need now. Let's get it. Once we arrive back at my house, I unlock the door and guide her up to my bedroom. There should be enough space for us to work on the banner up there. As soon as I open the door, Yuri wanders around my room curiously. Hey, your house is remarkably tidy. I cleaned it before I came over, so... Oh, you didn't have to do that just for me. Ah, no, I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. I see, that makes sense. After all, a clear room makes a clear mind, does it not? Cluttering can be very therapeutic. I would have been more than happy to have helped you. Please, what kind of host would I be if I left this place a tip? Besides, I like to know where everything is in my room. Everything has its own place, you know. Yuri nods and walks over at my desk. She carefully studies the various collectibles I have set up on it. Suddenly she reaches down and... Wait, don't look in there. I snatch Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening the desk drawer of mine. Ah, do forgive me, I shouldn't be poking around the property of others. Don't know why I did that. It's okay, just, well, never mind. I'm glad I managed to catch her before she got a chance to look inside. There's things in there I'm not very comfortable sharing with others. What would that be? I wonder. I don't need to wonder to know what that would be, but still. Moving on. Let go of Yuri's wrist. She starts to fidget with her hands, gently squeezing them. So, what did you have planned, Yuri? Ah, yes. I thought about some ways we could transform the club room. With the right atmospheric pieces, we could morph the world into our own citadel of sensation, our domain. The exclamation or Yuri blushes perhaps. She feels as thought she got a bit carried away. Yeah, like domain. I think that would be like domain expansion. Come on. This is not Jujutsu Kaisen, people. This is not a domain expansion. It's not like that. Domain expansion. So, domain expansion, infinite void. Yuri blushes, perhaps she feels as thought she got carried away. That sounds ambitious. What kind of atmospheric pieces were you thinking of? Well, even something as simple as adjusting the light or employing aromatherapy could be wonderful. Not gonna lie, that seems pretty sus. Wait. The hell's going on? Oh, makes sense. Okay, let's keep going. Even something as simple as adjusting the light or employing aromatherapy could be wonderful. Wow, I'm impressed, Yuri. You really put a lot of thought into this. It's nothing, really. I was just hoping that I could make our recital an event that plucks at the soul. Through our worlds of visitors, our visitors can experience our struggles and strive vicariously. Oh, you don't even know half of it. That sounds intense. Ah, intense. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be anxious. You can relax a little. Relax, I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the pottery event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummaged through her bag. She pulls out a cylindrical wooden object and places it on my desk. Yeah. I would thought about covering the windows up and having a small candles to provide a room illumination. I think it would make our event much more of an intimate affair, don't you agree? Ah, yeah. The way you reworded that sounds a bit forward, doesn't it? I choose not to press it, though. What's the wooden thing, though? Oh, it's an old diffuser. It's actually my personal one from home. Tell me, how much do you know about aromatherapy? Not as much as I would like to. Ah, well, let me tell you about it a little. I believe the scent of an area can completely alter how we perceive it. Being able to alter the aura of the room like that, there's something magical about it. Yuri opens it up and retrieves a tiny glass bottle from her bag, alongside a bigger plastic one filled with water. She empties a larger bottle into the diffuser, then uncaps the tiny bottle and adds a few drops of it. Then pushes a button. Within seconds, a delightful smelling mist delicately floats out of it. Wow, that smells wonderful. What was the stuff you were adding to it? Ah, it's my fertilization oil. It's derived from jasmine flower. It has a beautifully alluring scent. Wouldn't you agree? It really does smell nice. Was there a particular reason you chose it? Well, while it's true that jasmine can aid relaxation, it has various other properties. It can enhance your emotions and steer the mind. What might simply be curiosity can grow into enrapturing awe and wonder. A mild interest can blossom into an exciting infatuation. Some would describe it as an aphrodisiac, but I think that has more to do with the warmth feelings it can give you. You're drawn in, your heart pounding along with the world around you. Doesn't that sound pulchritudinous? Ah, yeah. I think that would be perfect. I'm not sure what that word means, but based on a reaction, it must mean something good. You're quite an expert on this, aren't you? I'll trust your judgment. Giri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. I'm taking a print of this. She looks cute like this. There you go. What are those for? What the dog doing? Well, did you persuade the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I would like to do is write different kanji characters on the paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the kanji paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you would be so good at this. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little tense, as you would put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Or maybe it's the jasmine oil. That could probably be a drug to her. Yada yada. She brought drugs with her. Holy shit. Here's a marker. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, right. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work, carefully drawing the different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon into her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag and once more and pulls out a pocket knife. The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's not an ordinary pocket knife. Looks really fancy. Ah, well, embarrassed Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know. If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. Don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe. Maybe. What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kinda suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kinda intense. Besides, it's really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes the expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hand. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where would you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Hey! Why would you even do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. Barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no, a small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Holy shit, here we go. Alright. Holy shit. Let's see. Wait a bit, guys. Just need to do something real quick. There you go. And it is done. I think. Yeah, wait. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a check. On a closer look. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a close look. She started into it and noticeably fidgets. Where do you keep your first aid kit? We'll need to sterilize the wound and wrap it to halt the blood flow. To have a goose, it should. Where's my hand cutting you off? Yuri, I don't think it's that serious. Probably just need a bandage. Yuri pupils narrow, perhaps afraid of that you went too far. But I appreciate your concern. Will it be okay for a little while? Oh, yes, of course. There you go. I quickly run to the kitchen and rinse the cut, then apply a small plaster. It stings a little, but that should be the worst of it. As I return, Yuri eyes dots around the room. As thought, she were too embarrassed to look at me. I went a bit of a bullet there. I'm sorry if I made things awkward, I just. Yuri hangs her head shamefully. Yuri. My parents were doctors, so I always tend to jump to the most severe conclusions when it comes to personal injury. Never know how to read the situation. I'm sorry for making you feel out of place. I am in your home. In your own home, no less. Yuri. She's way too harsh on herself. How can I fix this? It's really okay. Your heart was in the right place. She didn't look up. I appreciate that you were concerned about me, but I'm fine, see? It was only a tiny nick. It's my fault, anyway, for being careless with your knife. Wait a bit. I see. The panic in her eyes evaporates, replaced by a calming stillness. Seeing her ease up, up a bit is reassuring. Maybe the future is helping. Thank you for being patient with me. Yuri giggles shyly. That was really cute. I was definitely not expecting that. My face grows hot. Yeah, no worries. Clear my throat. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but hair. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the kanji. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. Looks better than I expected, and it seems like it will be very effective as a door curtain. Looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Ah, thanks. It's going to look wonderful, isn't it? Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? Well, remember the paint and the banner. I would like to make something with that, something to display in the clubroom. Ah, that's right. Yuri had made a big deal about fetching the banner from the art room. She must have been looking forward to this. Could you retrieve the paint and the brushes from the other room? I can stay here and unravel the banner. Yeah, sure. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Yuri, head downstairs and pick up the bag filled with acrylic paints. There's mixing palettes and several different colors. I stopped to fill up a couple of cups with water, for diluting the brushes afterwards, then go back upstairs. Yuri? Ah, hey. As I open the door, Yuri hurriedly rolling her sleeve over her arm. Yo. Ah, nothing. Her face is a little red. Is it too hot in yours or anything? Ah, no, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's get to work. I can't shake the feeling that there's something that she's not telling me, but I don't push it the point further. You should. You should push it further. So, I think we did a color gradient. If we did a color gradient across the banner, it would look wonderful, starting with warmth colors and then blending into darker shades. I thought of a day to night cycle would be really pretty. Once it's finished, we could write something inspirational across it. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it will be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. I kneel down on the opposite side of the banner as Yuri. Yuri uses a brush to enhance a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art classes project that we had back then. It's relaxing. Ah, if it's too immature for you, then I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, I suppose it is. I'm glad you feel that way. Yuri places the brush down, pondering to herself. Most people our age don't do wild things, but I'm usually more comfortable doing something soothing. I'm quite content with just a bit of company. Oh yeah, I read it wrong. It's like normally people of our age like do wild things, but she doesn't need. Okay, I'm quite content with just a bit of company. Even if it's something simple like reading, we don't need to be talking a lot. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. Yeah, you stupid need. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiled gently. I knew you would understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush, but I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into us. Ah, sorry. Yuri rolls back and quickly lifts my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? Ah, I don't think so. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Ah, your face. There are droplets of paint in Yuri's face and neck. Is that something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. Rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. Cute. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Ah, there's nothing wrong. It's warm, I just didn't expect it. Yeah, we wouldn't do that with cold water. It would be insensitive. Sorry, I don't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand, but Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Hold on a moment. Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. Ah, I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books, almost as if she's lost in daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently out through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is it the aroma of jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Your gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist and a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Ah, Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it begun. Yuri picks up her brush again, and her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I accidentally retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finish filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to head the lettering now? Ah, not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the littering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Ah, no, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. Ah, so you don't have any time left. I was secretly hoping that we could have an extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not a fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah, so I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. I sound like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem, I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then, Yuri fidgets. Guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, I kind of say that without thinking. About today, it's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over and we can go out somewhere. Oh, I forgot, you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so you're very thoughtful. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? Don't want to make things awkward, but I would like to spend more time with you as well. She takes a slow, deep breath and releases my hand. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you at the festival. With one last smile, Yuri starts to head home. She looks back over her shoulder, but then quickly turns back around. I am really grateful that I got to do this with Yuri. I enjoyed my time with her a lot. The way she said she simply enjoys having company. I understand exactly what she means. Tomorrow going to be incredible. I just know it. Wait, I'm now thinking about something. If Natsuki was like, how should I say this? If Natsuki already was like a jealous person, imagine Yuri. Oh well guys, I guess this was it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment on what you thought of it, and well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you on the flip side. Goodbye pals.